Okay, so in today's class, we'll start a new chapter. We are done with introduction to research as such, and today we'll start what is a research problem. All right. Now, in your syllabus, you have a few, topics wherein you are studying about identifying the problem area and you're discussing about problem statements, so on and so forth. All of that will be included in research problem. First of all, I'll give you a brief introduction of what a research problem is and how you go about solving that problem. Right. Now, when we talk about research problem, it is any topic that has been selected very, very carefully after considering a very broad idea or a field that researcher, which is whoever the researcher is, once they are interested in one particular field, they will start formulating a research problem. What is one answer that I can or I may be able to answer with research? What is the question that I may be able to answer with my research? Okay. Now, any problem becomes identifiable in a few scenarios. When does a problem? So we'll pose those scenarios. When does a problem become identifiable? How will you find out whether there is a problem or not? Okay, which needs an answer. So when does a problem become identified? One, when there is a gap in results. Whenever you see, let's suppose you are reading literature and you are reading some published material, and in that, whenever there are investigations that are being done, there is a gap in knowledge. Okay, they might not be able to explain certain scenarios, or you can see significant gap in the study itself. That may give rise to a problem. All right, you might get curious. Okay, what is the explanation for that particular part? And that might spark research. So that can become a the area where which on which you can formulate your problem statement and you can perform your research. So there is a gap or a gap in uh, the results of investigations. Okay. So we by investigations we are talking about any other research that you are coming across or you are coming across any other published material, उसमें any textbook, whatever it is. ठीक है. उसमें gap है, gap in knowledge, right? Or if let's suppose another scenario is when the results of several inquiries disagree. Okay. Let's suppose there are two studies about one particular phenomena, and let's suppose we give you an example where uh, there are two researchers, okay, and both of them are talking about a drug named A. Okay, example. Both of them are talking about one drug called A. One fellow is telling drug A is helpful in patients with, let's suppose, diabetes mellitus, and person B is telling that no, it is not helpful. Okay, A is not helpful. One is for the drug, and one is against the drug. So यहाँ पर contradictory statements आ गया आपको. One research is showing that it is helpful for the patient, and another research is showing that it is not helpful for the patient, it might be harmful for the patient. So that might spark interest to you. That might spark a problem for you wherein you can, as the results of these two studies are disagreeing with each other, it might spark interest in that particular researcher, whoever is reading these two published materials as a third person. Let me find out what is the answer. Okay, so you might give your own perspective with that. So that is one. Results of several inquiries disagree. Right. So that can be another reason why a problem statement or a problem can become identifiable. Then, if there is a fact that exists but it is unexplained, okay. Let's suppose we know, for example, now you have come across, if you talk with respect of drugs itself, let's suppose you have come across several drugs whose mechanism of actions are not clear, right? There are several drugs that have come across wherein we do not know how the drug works, but we do know that drug will do a certain action. Okay. So a fact does exist that drug A has certain effect. Okay. Let's suppose drug A has an effect of decreasing body temperature, but we do not know how it does so. Right. So in that scenario, क्या होता? A fact exists as unexplained information. वो एक सिनारियो है जहां पर आप प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट प्रॉब्लम अराइज होता है, यू कैन फॉर्मुलेट अ प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट. देन द लास्ट वन, so innovation is driving your research. So there is desire for innovation. So you want to improve on current knowledge, whatever knowledge is currently present about a certain phenomena or about certain facts. You want to improve on that knowledge, maybe add a little bit to your predecessor's works, and maybe try to solve a mystery, things like that. A desire for innovating something, okay, maybe finding a better solution for whatever the current solution for a problem is. Like, all of that encompasses in this desire for, that is encompassed in the desire for innovation. Right. So these are the four main areas where a problem becomes identifiable. Whether there is gap in results of investigation, whether you can find gap in knowledge, or there are results that are skewed from each other. They are variable results of the same particular phenomena. Okay, they are agreeing and disagreeing. There are one study which is agreeing with a certain phenomena and another which is disagreeing. So you want to perform your own research to give us the correct answer, or at least hope to give a correct answer. Then there are a few facts that are unexplained. Okay, even though they are facts, you cannot exactly explain them clearly. Or there is a desire that you want to innovate, improve upon current knowledge. So any of these areas can act as a spark wherein you can stimulate research. Now, once you have identified a problem, how do you go about doing this? Now, sources of research problem, where will you find such problems? कैसा मिलेंगे आपको? So there are 2-3 steps that you need to follow. First of all, will be selecting a discipline. Okay. So sources of research problem. Where can you find research problems? First will be selection of the discipline. What does this mean? Selection of discipline essentially refers to you selecting one particular subject. Let's suppose as a nursing student, you have studied several subjects, even up to 4th year. Let's suppose you have studied several subjects. Even when let's suppose you talk to a graduate nurse, they have studied quite a lot of subjects over the course of their 4 years, either practically or in theory. They have studied quite a lot. So the first thing that you need to do is imagine that person is they did MSc research, they did BSc in nursing, and they did masters, or let's suppose they did MBA after nursing. Okay, I'm only giving you an example. Imagine there is a person who did BSc nursing, then after that they did an MBA. So first of all, before they start research, they have to select discipline, whether or not they are going to perform the research in nursing, or are they going to perform the research in MBA or any other managerial courses, or are they going to perform research in some other completely new field altogether, okay, or their PhD, that is, okay, or for any reason, does not matter, only PhD, but let's suppose they are going for research and they want to publish a paper. In that matter, first thing that you need to do is select a discipline. Okay, you need to make sure that generally speaking, you will stick to your specializations. Okay, because you have already done BSc nursing and because you have already done an MBA, that person who has done an MBA, their specialization will lie either in MBA or in any of the subjects that will be present in BSc nursing, because they've already learned about that subject. Then you will become a little, prioritize a little bit more. You'll make it a little more specific. Okay, you narrow it down a little bit more. Then demarcating a particular aspect of the selected subject. Demarcating a particular aspect of the selected subject. What does this mean? For example, let's suppose that researcher selected nursing. They thought that, okay, let me do research in nursing rather than in MBA. Let me continue with nursing and let me choose one particular subject in nursing. Okay. For example, जो subject select करे थे, imagine that is MSN. Okay, medical surgical nursing select करे nursing. from one of those disciplines, from selection of discipline में आप nursing choose करके उसमें MSN choose करें, and in that you are narrowing it down a little bit more. Now in MSN, what would you want to narrow it down to? Now MSN में आप अलग अलग स्पेशलाइजेशन से वो कर सकते हैं. It can be orthopedic, or it can be cardiothoracic, it can be oncological, it can be neurological. अलग अलग रह सकते हैं. You have a lot of specializations. Where it can be infectious diseases, okay, it can be renal. आप अलग अलग तरीकों से you can narrow it down even further. Okay? Once you have done that, you are identifying one specific problem area. Okay, that will be the third step. Okay, once you have demarcated a particular subject, and let's suppose you are looking at cardiothoracic example. Okay, you are looking at cardiothoracic and you are specifically looking at cardiovascular diseases. Okay, specifically affecting the heart. Imagine you want to perform a research on LVH, left ventricular hypertrophy, and you want to see in patients who have hypertension, it is fairly common that patients who have long-term hypertension, they will develop left ventricular hypertrophy. Okay, the left ventricle will become thicker and it will become larger. That is left ventricular hypertrophy. अब आप problem area कैसे identify कर रहे हैं? Let's suppose you get a question in your mind that, or the researcher gets a question in the mind that will intervention with antihypertensives, early intervention with antihypertensives help in patients who have LVH? Okay, I'll repeat that question once again. आप cardiothoracic एक बार narrow down करने के बाद, now you are going, you are going from a broad field to you are narrowing it down slowly to a specific problem. ठीक है, पहले आप एक subject select करें, subject, a broad subject like nursing या MBA में से you are selecting nursing. Then out of nursing you are selecting one subject of nursing. So in this scenario, let's suppose that person is selecting MSN, okay, medical surgical nursing. MSN में भी आप कौन सी category choose करना चाह रहे हैं? Okay, there are a lot of specializations in MSN as well. So let's suppose that person is selecting cardiothoracic. Now in cardiothoracic, what is one specific area that you want to answer? See, specificity is very important. If someone tells you that they can do research in anything and anywhere, they are non-specific, they do not know themselves, and they do not have proper knowledge where to begin. Because you cannot just go about and answer each and everything. You need to be very specific about what you are looking for and where you want to work. It can be quite varied in the sense that over the lifetime of that researcher, they might be able to research about several subjects. But at one point of time, they are only supposed to look at one particular area. ठीक है, आप एक साथ 4-5 अलग सब्जेक्ट्स में रिसर्च करने जाएंगे, none of them will be of good quality. Okay, or else they'll be very draining for you, because imagine doing 2, 3, 4 different projects at the same time in different subjects. So it will involve you knowing a lot about all of those subjects, all of those broad subjects, and it will require specific knowledge in all of those subjects, and you dedicating that much time in all of those subjects. So it will be quite very hard for a researcher to do that. That is why specificity is very important. Okay? And once you are dedicating a certain amount of time that you are distributing among so many subjects, let's suppose you dedicate to one particular project, there is a good chance that you will get it done faster and the results will be much more promising as well. Okay? जो क्या बोलते हैं, जैक ऑफ ऑल मास्टर ऑफ नन बोलते हैं ना, जैक ऑफ ऑल ट्रेड मास्टर ऑफ नन, वो सिनेरियो हो जाता है if you are not specific. That is right. Now, once you are identifying a problem, let's suppose cardiothoracic mein you are coming up with a question that you want to study LVH, and the problem that you are coming across is, let's suppose this comes up in the researcher's mind, will early intervention with antihypertensives increase or decrease the likelihood of a patient developing LVH. Okay. Let's suppose this is the question that you are getting. Now this is a very specific question that you can answer through research. अब इसमें आपको क्लियरली मालूम हो गया, ठीक है, मेरे कैटेगरी, मेरे क्राइटेरिया क्या है, मेरे को पेशेंट्स, वो पेशेंट्स देखना है जिनको हाइपरटेंशन है, ठीक है, and I want to see preferably patients over a long period of time. मतलब I want to see them for a few years. ठीक है, if you want to see whether or not that antihypertensive drug is working and whether there is an effect of that antihypertensive drug over the years, मतलब generally LVH occur होंगे and it will take time. Okay? It will not immediately occur. As soon as the patient is diagnosed with hypertension, it will not immediately happen that the next day they are developing left ventricular hypertrophy. It will occur over several years where their cardiac muscles are adapting by undergoing hypertrophy. तो आप क्या करते हैं, आप slowly as you keep giving antihypertensives, maybe in some patients you will be able to find out that they are having LVH and some patients they are not having LVH. Now again वहां पर variables आ जाते हैं. ये अलग अलग पेशेंट्स का स्टार्ट एज जहां पर उनका हाइपरटेंशन डायग्नोज हुआ था वो अलग था क्या, या फिर अब कौन सा ड्रग ऑफ चॉइस था, maybe that might be a factor wherein which has influenced whether they developed LVH or not. Maybe some drugs are better at preventing any further cardiovascular problems like LVH or something else as well. Okay, so there are a lot of variables you can come up with a single problem result, but here you have narrowed down quite a lot. Okay, so that is how you identify a particular problem area. Now I came up with this one example. Now there are several ways through which you can come across a problem area and how you can identify a problem area. I will list down a few sources where you can identify a problem area. I hope you are understanding till here. If you have doubts, please feel free to ask. You can put it in the chat as well if you're not able to use your microphone or whatever. Or if you want me to repeat anything. So, sources for sources of problem. Okay, very crude example, but anyway, where can you find problems from? Where can you extract problems from? Essentially, so one very common area is previous research. Okay. As a researcher or someone who is related to the field of academia, you will come across a lot of studies. Okay, you will read a lot of studies over the years, and you might be able to find, as I told you, gaps in knowledge. Okay, maybe one research is explaining a certain phenomena well, but they're not completely explaining what doubts you have. That might give spark to a certain question that you have. Generally speaking, whenever you critically appraise a published data, any published data, that is a good sign, or that is a good area where you can find a problem. All right, वहाँ पर you can a research idea may stem after reading literature with gaps in it, or from research reports as well. वहां से आपको एक idea आ रहा कि okay, this is the identifiable problem. If I perform research on it, maybe I'll be able to answer this problem. So previous research, okay. Then popular conceptions. Now popular conceptions में क्या होता? Technically speaking, इसमें क्या आता? आपके traditionally या cultural beliefs जो रहते. For example, let's suppose 500 years ago in India, it was very common. Since several years ago, like almost maybe 1,000 years ago or something, it is very common to add turmeric to our food. Okay, we take turmeric. Indians generally add quite a lot of turmeric in their food. Daily consumption is present, and over their lifetime, they are consuming quite a lot of turmeric. And apparently, the conception is that traditionally and culturally, that turmeric is good for your health, right? Now, if you look at it from a scientific perspective, you look at it from a scientific view, we are trying to prove or disprove this popular conception. We are trying to find out whether or not is it true. Does turmeric have any particular health benefits? Okay. This study might have happened like 50, 60 years ago, or maybe even earlier. But essentially, someone wanted to prove or disprove popular conceptions. They wanted to see whether or not popular conceptions are legitimate. Okay, that can act as an area where you can perform, research, and that can act as an area where you can extract a research problem from, right, to answer their effectiveness as well for any popular conception, that is. All right. Then empirical interest. Okay. Empirical interest क्या है? Insight, essentially. Insight arising from a change in perspective. Okay? Imagine you are reading a study And let's suppose you have a certain thought process about a certain process, okay, about a certain phenomena. For example, there is a particular way you feel about, how should I say? Okay, let's suppose we take this example. Imagine you are strongly positive about wearing a helmet, or you are strongly positive about not wearing a helmet while driving. Thinking that, or not helmet, let's suppose you are strongly positive about wearing sunglasses. Okay? It is very common that people who drive for long distances, they wear sunglasses, shades essentially. Okay? And you are strongly for, or you're strongly positive towards wearing sunglasses while driving. When you are reading certain research, maybe you come across certain studies saying that not all sunglasses are made equal, and in certain cases, sunglasses might not really be helpful as such. They might obstruct views, or it might show any particular aspect wherein it might not be helpful. So that is essentially changing your perspective. Okay, it might give you insight. Insight arising from any change in perspective may spark research, and it might poses a problem to the researcher. Essentially, curiosity. Okay, curiosity can be a very rich source for research in general. Empirical interest में यहाँ पर क्या आ रहा, आपकी curiosity से आप एक problem को arise कर रहे हो. ठीक है, maybe you are curious about a certain phenomenon. Why is this particular thing happening? Okay, is it only me who is feeling about this phenomena this way, or is it pretty common? For example, let's suppose if any one of you have ever used dryers, okay, I mean machine dryers. Once a washing machine में wash करके, let's suppose you are using a dryer and you start folding warm clothes. Sometimes what happens is some people feel static electricity on that. So you might become curious. Is it only me who is feeling that static electricity, or is it a common phenomenon? We know now that it does have some latent electricity, but let's suppose the same problem was posed about 100 years ago, not 100, let's suppose 50 years ago, okay, when dryers came out new, okay, when it was a new invention. At that time, this would have proved as a legitimate question. This would have sparked the curiosity of several people. Hence, giving rise to researchers performing another problem where a researcher can perform research. Okay, so that is about empirical interest. I hope you are understanding. If you are having any doubts, or if you want me to repeat anything, feel free to ask. Then another area, so the fourth area where you can it can act as a source of problem will be practical needs. ठीक है, practical needs का मतलब क्या है? As a nurse, let's suppose you are working in OPD, ठीक है? And once, let's suppose you are posted in OPD, and one morning you find a patient who is getting treated for, for some disease. Let's suppose whatever they are coming for. Once they come to a OPD, they suddenly start having dyspnea. They have severe dyspnea. They're not able to breathe properly. Before coming, they were completely normal, and once they are, getting closer to the doctor or sitting inside the hospital, they might be, getting dyspnea. Now, this might spark your curiosity. Okay, this could be because of some sort of allergy, or this could be because of anxiety, because the patient is anxious that about meeting the doctor, and what would the doctor say after seeing my maybe test results and things like that. Because of anxiety, the patient might be having dyspnea, even though they are just an OPD patient and they are getting coming for just a plain consultation. It might spark an interest for you as a researcher. Okay, this is a particular pattern that I'm seeing in several patients. It is not just one patient that this is happening in. Maybe you see quite commonly what happens is patients who come to see doctors, their blood pressure will be slightly skewed. It will be higher than what it normally is. Okay? Generally speaking, what a doctor will do is before they check your blood pressure, they will engage in some sort of communication with you. They'll ask a bunch of questions here and there, which might not necessarily be related to you as such. They will ask you, how was your day? How are your relatives doing? And this and that. Then they'll try to calm the patient down, and they'll try to engage the patient in such a way that they're not paying attention to the reading of the sphygmomanometer, so that the actual result that you get from your sphygmomanometer or whatever machine the doctor is using is more accurate. ठीक है, तो दोज आर प्रैक्टिकल नीड्स. तो आप रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इज इट कॉमन ओनली इन वन पेशेंट और इज इट कॉमन इन एवरी वन और इन several more patients that they might get anxious and it might skew the results and things like that. Those will come under practical needs. You might find a particular phenomena in IP patients as well. For example, अपन परसों बोल रहे थे about bed sores. ठीक है, as a new nurse, you might find that bed sores are occurring in one ward, whereas it is not occurring in another ward. Okay. Let's suppose you observe 2, 3, 4, 10 patients the same way. 10 patients in ward number one. Let's suppose 10 new patients in ward number one. None of them have any bed sores, and 10 patients in ward number two. All of them have bed sores. Okay. So it might spark curiosity. Does it have something to do with the environment of ward number two? Or does it have something to do with maybe the cleaning agent they are using? Does it have something to do with the linen that they are using? Okay, any practical need that can spark, a problem wherein you can perform research. Yeah, sir. Another way through which you can come across a problem statement is political concerns. Now, this is essentially emphasis on constraining healthcare costs. Let's suppose this is a part of healthcare where, let's suppose, a particular ruling party is trying to push towards healthcare, in the sense, push more money towards healthcare or increase the output of healthcare. They might be constraining healthcare costs. Okay, some politician or someone who's in power, they might be try to find ways wherein we can cut down money. We can try to find ways where we can get more people get involved in medical insurance, right? Healthcare insurance or life insurance or whatever it is, trying to cut healthcare costs. Okay, trying to find better ways where you can clearly demarcate cause and effect of treatment of diseases, trying to minimize unnecessary drug use or polypharmacy, things like that, or improving healthcare standards. Or let's suppose there is a politician who's telling you try to implement vertical healthcare programs. Vertical healthcare programs are programs that are specifically designed for one particular disease. A community में particular disease, sorry, let's suppose एक particular community में TB rampant है, तो आप vertical healthcare program will be a healthcare program that is specifically targeted towards TB. ठीक है, तो वो कम्युनिटी में टीबी ट्रीट करने के लिए आप क्या कर सकते हैं, ऑल ऑफ दैट. ठीक है, तो दैट इज वन एरिया वेयर यू कैन परफॉर्म रिसर्च. वर्टिकल हेल्थ केयर प्रोग्राम जैसा रहता है वैसा हॉरिजॉन्टल भी रहता है. हॉरिजॉन्टल हेल्थ केयर प्रोग्राम इज एसेंशियली looking at it in a much more holistic method, in the sense that अब जैसा vertical healthcare program is very specific to one disease. Okay, in one community it is prevention of one particular disease. Horizontal healthcare program will look at general welfare of the whole community of such. Okay, not just one disease. Or let's suppose vertical healthcare program के end पे you will get a result. Okay, we have eradicated polio from this particular region. Horizontal healthcare program के end पे आप कैसा रहता? You will have much more voluntary work. It will be much more tedious, but the overall healthcare system of that particular region has improved. ऐसा बोल सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो those are some differences between vertical and horizontal healthcare program. Anyway, so that can be one area where we can find a problem जहां पर आप research कर सकते हैं. Then there is priorities. ठीक है, priorities as in prioritization of research based on area of specialty. Maybe you have specialized in psychiatry and you want to perform research in depressed patients. Maybe there are patients who have what you call bipolar disorders, and do you want to see whether family influence has any effect on patients who have bipolar disorder? Is their quality of life improving or deteriorating based on society and based on their interactions in society, things like that. Your priority, whatever it is. And priority might also be related to funding, whether or not we are getting funding from an agency for a particular problem. Let's suppose one particular population. Currently, there is a lot of research going on COVID-19. So there is a lot of fund being pushed towards researchers, several grants being given to researchers to research about COVID-19, several topics of COVID-19, but anything related to COVID-19 as such. So priorities change in that sense. ठीक है, वहां से आप एक प्रॉब्लम को आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं. Then will be interest in untested theories. This ties into previous research in a way because untested theories will again come across areas where there is gap in knowledge. Okay, trying to expand knowledge. वहाँ पर uncharted territories में आप जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Okay, तो आप popular conceptions को भी उसमें भी tie in कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, you are interested in certain popular conceptions that have not been completely proved by scientifically by research. So those are essentially untested theory. आप वहाँ पर research करना चाह रहे हैं. या फिर it can be interest of the professional organization. Let's suppose you join some major company, some major pharmaceutical company or some company where there is research going on about one particular topic. So it might be the professional organization itself pushing you towards performing research on that particular topic. Imagine there is a company who is doing research on HIV, okay, or research on malaria maybe, and they will try to recruit you and they will tell you, okay, you need to get in line with the research that is going on here, and you need to become a part of the research of malaria. So they will, even when recruiting you, they will tell you, see, we have specific research going on in malaria. Would you like to come on board and work with us, where we'll try to solve some problem regarding malaria or something like that. Okay. So that is the interest of professional organizations. Now these are 8 ways through which you can find problems. All right. So we'll discuss about problem statement in the next class. I hope you understood what is the introduction to research problem, what are the sources of research problems, and how you can identify different sorts of problems around you. So if you have doubts, please feel free to ask. You can put it in the chat as well.